Daily tips. Mercy is the better part of justice.
Come up to.
Come up to.
Come up to.
Come up to.
To approach.
To approach.
Your performance should come up to our standards.
Your performance should come up to our standards.
Подойти к.
Come up with.
Come up with.
Come up with.
Come up with.
To invent or suggest.
To invent or suggest.
Can you come up with a creative solution?
Can you come up with a creative solution?
Придумать.
In common.
In common.
In common.
In common.
Shared characteristics.
Shared characteristics.
We have a lot in common, including our hobbies.
We have a lot in common, including our hobbies.
Общий.
Beyond compare.
Beyond compare.
Beyond compare.
Beyond compare.
Unmatched.
Unmatched.
Her beauty is beyond compare.
Her beauty is beyond compare.
Непередаваемо великий.
Compare to.
Compare to.
Compare to.
Compare to.
To liken to.
To liken to.
Let's compare apples to oranges.
Let's compare apples to oranges.
Сравнить с.
By comparison.
By comparison.
By comparison.
By comparison.
When contrasted.
When contrasted.
The two products are cheap by comparison.
The two products are cheap by comparison.
В сравнении с.
In comparison with.
In comparison with.
In comparison with.
In comparison with.
When contrasted with.
When contrasted with.
This phone is excellent in comparison with others.
This phone is excellent in comparison with others.
В сравнении с.
Be composed of.
Be composed of.
Be composed of.
Be composed of.
To be made up of.
To be made up of.
The salad is composed of various vegetables.
The salad is composed of various vegetables.
Состоять из.
As far as, be concerned.
As far as be concerned.
As far as, be concerned.
As far as be concerned.
Regarding a specific aspect.
Regarding a specific aspect.
As far as I am concerned, the project is going well.
As far as I am concerned, the project is going well.
Что касается.
On condition that.
On condition that.
On condition that.
On condition that.
With the requirement that.
With the requirement that.
You can use the car on condition that you fill it up with gas.
You can use the car on condition that you fill it up with gas.
При условии, что.
Out of condition.
Out of condition.
Out of condition.
Out of condition.
Not in good health or shape.
Not in good health or shape.
The old car is out of condition and needs repairs.
The old car is out of condition and needs repairs.
Не в форме.
In confidence.
In confidence.
In confidence.
In confidence.
With trust and secrecy.
With trust and secrecy.
She shared the secret in confidence with her best friend.
She shared the secret in confidence with her best friend.
С уверенностью.
Take into one's confidence.
Take into one's confidence.
Take into one's confidence.
Take into one's confidence.
To trust and confide in.
To trust and confide in.
He decided to take into his confidence his most loyal friend.
He decided to take into his confidence his most loyal friend.
Взять в доверие.
In conjunction with.
In conjunction with.
In conjunction with.
In conjunction with.
Together with.
Together with.
The two teams worked in conjunction with each other.
The two teams worked in conjunction with each other.
В сочетании с.
In connection with.
In connection with.
In connection with.
In connection with.
Related to.
Related to.
I have some information in connection with the case.
I have some information in connection with the case.
В связи с.
In conscience.
In conscience.
In conscience.
In conscience.
With a clear conscience.
With a clear conscience.
He acted in all conscience in that situation.
He acted in all conscience in that situation.
С чистой совестью.
On one's conscience.
On one's conscience.
On one's conscience.
On one's conscience.
Causing guilt or regret.
Causing guilt or regret.
The accident weighed heavily on his conscience.
The accident weighed heavily on his conscience.
На своей совести.
By common consent.
By common consent.
By common consent.
By common consent.
With unanimous agreement.
With unanimous agreement.
The decision was made by common consent of the group.
The decision was made by common consent of the group.
Единогласно.
In consequence.
In consequence.
In consequence.
In consequence.
As a result.
As a result.
He missed the deadline and in consequence faced consequences.
He missed the deadline and in consequence faced consequences.
В результате.
In consequence of.
In consequence of.
In consequence of.
In consequence of.
Because of.
Because of.
The event was cancelled in consequence of bad weather.
The event was cancelled in consequence of bad weather.
Вследствие.
In consideration of.
In consideration of.
In consideration of.
In consideration of.
Considering.
Considering.
In consideration of your request, we will proceed.
In consideration of your request, we will proceed.
С учетом.
Take into consideration.
Take into consideration.
Take into consideration.
Take into consideration.
Consider.
Consider.
Please take into consideration the budget constraints.
Please take into consideration the budget constraints.
Принять во внимание.
On the contrary.
On the contrary.
On the contrary.
On the contrary.
Opposite viewpoint.
Opposite viewpoint.
I expected rain, on the contrary, it was sunny.
I expected rain, on the contrary, it was sunny.
Напротив.
To the contrary.
To the contrary.
To the contrary.
To the contrary.
In contrast.
In contrast.
His actions are to the contrary of what he says.
His actions are to the contrary of what he says.
Напротив.
By contrast.
By contrast.
By contrast.
By contrast.
In comparison.
In comparison.
By contrast, the new model is faster.
By contrast, the new model is faster.
В контрасте с.
In contrast to.
In contrast to.
In contrast to.
In contrast to.
Compared to.
Compared to.
Our product is affordable in contrast to our competitors.
Our product is affordable in contrast to our competitors.
В контрасте с.
In control.
In control.
In control.
In control.
Managing.
Managing.
The manager is in control of the project.
The manager is in control of the project.
Под контролем.
Out of control.
Out of control.
Out of control.
Out of control.
Unmanageable.
Unmanageable.
The situation is out of control and chaotic.
The situation is out of control and chaotic.
Без контроля.
Under control.
Under control.
Under control.
Under control.
Managed.
Managed.
With his guidance, the team is under control.
With his guidance, the team is under control.
Под контролем.
To the core.
To the core.
To the core.
To the core.
Completely.
Completely.
He is dedicated to the core to his job.
He is dedicated to the core to his job.
До мозга костей.
At all costs.
At all costs.
At all costs.
At all costs.
Regardless of expense.
Regardless of expense.
We must succeed at all costs to achieve our goal.
We must succeed at all costs to achieve our goal.
Во что бы то ни стало.
At the cost of.
At the cost of.
At the cost of.
At the cost of.
Resulting in harm.
Resulting in harm.
He achieved success, but at the cost of his health.
He achieved success, but at the cost of his health.
За счет.
Keep one's own counsel.
Keep one's own counsel.
Keep one's own counsel.
Keep one's own counsel.
Keep secrets.
Keep secrets.
She decided to keep her own counsel about the issue.
She decided to keep her own counsel about the issue.
Хранить свои секреты.
Count against.
Count against.
Count against.
Count against.
Negative consideration.
Negative consideration.
This mistake will count against your performance review.
This mistake will count against your performance review.
Учитывать против.
Count down.
Count down.
Count down.
Count down.
Decrease or recite.
Decrease or recite.
Count down from 10 to 1 before launching the rocket.
Count down from 10 to 1 before launching the rocket.
Обратный отсчет.
Count in.
Count in.
Count in.
Count in.
Include.
Include.
We should count in all team members for this project.
We should count in all team members for this project.
Включать в счет.
Count on.
Count on.
Count on.
Count on.
Rely on.
Rely on.
You can count on him to complete the task.
You can count on him to complete the task.
Рассчитывать на.
Count out.
Count out.
Count out.
Count out.
Exclude.
Exclude.
Please count out the defective items.
Please count out the defective items.
Исключать из счета.
Count up.
Count up.
Count up.
Count up.
Accumulate.
Accumulate.
Let's count up the total number of votes.
Let's count up the total number of votes.
Считать.
In the course of.
In the course of.
In the course of.
In the course of.
During. In the process of.
During. In the process of.
In the course of our journey, we discovered hidden treasures.
In the course of our journey, we discovered hidden treasures.
В течение.
In due course.
In due course.
In due course.
In due course.
Eventually, at the right time.
Eventually at the right time.
Your hard work will be rewarded in due course.
Your hard work will be rewarded in due course.
В свое время.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Naturally, obviously.
Naturally, obviously.
Of course, I'll help you with your project.
Of course, I'll help you with your project.
Конечно.
Cover for.
Cover for.
Cover for.
Cover for.
Provide an excuse or protection for.
Provide an excuse or protection for.
She agreed to cover for her colleague's absence.
She agreed to cover for her colleague's absence.
Прикрыть.
Cover up.
Cover up.
Cover up.
Cover up.
Hide, conceal.
Hide, conceal.
He tried to cover up his mistake, but it was obvious.
He tried to cover up his mistake, but it was obvious.
Прикрыть, замаскировать.
Take cover.
Take cover.
Take cover.
Take cover.
Find shelter or protection.
Find shelter or protection.
When the storm came, we had to take cover in the cave.
When the storm came, we had to take cover in the cave.
Укрыться.
Undercover.
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 Hidden, concealed.
Hidden, concealed.
The spy operated undercover to gather information.
The spy operated undercover to gather information.
Под прикрытием.
Crack down.
Crack down.
Crack down.
Crack down.
Enforce laws or regulations.
Enforce laws or regulations.
The government decided to crack down on illegal activities.
The government decided to crack down on illegal activities.
Жестко пресекать.
Crack up.
Crack up.
Crack up.
Crack up.
Burst into laughter, break down.
Burst into laughter, break down.
The comedian's jokes made the audience crack up.
The comedian's jokes made the audience crack up.
Раскатать.
Crawl with.
Crawl with.
Crawl with.
Crawl with.
Be filled with.
Be filled with.
The picnic area crawled with ants.
The picnic area crawled with ants.
Ползать.
On cue.
On cue.
On cue.
On cue.
Precisely on time, as planned.
Precisely on time as planned.
The actor delivered his lines on cue.
The actor delivered his lines on cue.
По сигналу.
Take one's cue from.
Take one's cue from.
Take one's cue from.
Take one's cue from.
To follow someone's lead or example.
To follow someone's lead or example.
Take one's cue from a successful mentor.
Take one's cue from a successful mentor.
Подражать.
Curl up.
Curl up.
Curl up.
Curl up.
To form into a curl or spiral.
To form into a curl or spiral.
She curled up with a book on the couch.
She curled up with a book on the couch.
Свернуться.
Cut across.
Cut across.
Cut across.
Cut across.
To go across a surface or area.
To go across a surface or area.
Let's cut across the field to save time.
Let's cut across the field to save time.
Пересечь.
Cut back.
Cut back.
Cut back.
Cut back.
To reduce or decrease.
To reduce or decrease.
The company had to cut back on expenses.
The company had to cut back on expenses.
Сократить.
Cut down.
Cut down.
Cut down.
Cut down.
To reduce or diminish.
To reduce or diminish.
They decided to cut down their energy usage.
They decided to cut down their energy usage.
Сократить.
Cut in.
Cut in.
Cut in.
Cut in.
To interrupt or join in.
To interrupt or join in.
She tried to cut in on our conversation.
She tried to cut in on our conversation.
Вставить.
Cut off.
Cut off.
Cut off.
Cut off.
To disconnect or remove.
To disconnect or remove.
The storm cut off our electricity.
The storm cut off our electricity.
Отрезать.
Cut out.
Cut out.
Cut out.
Cut out.
To remove or eliminate.
To remove or eliminate.
You should cut out sugar from your diet.
You should cut out sugar from your diet.
Вырезать.
Dash off.
Dash off.
Dash off.
Dash off.
To write or do quickly.
To write or do quickly.
I need to dash off a quick email.
I need to dash off a quick email.
Быстро написать.
Out of date.
Out of date.
Out of date.
Out of date.
No longer current or valid.
No longer current or valid.
This document is out of date and needs updating.
This document is out of date and needs updating.
Устаревший.
Another tips. True happiness always resides in the quest.